There is a pattern you keep repeating and you don't know why. You meet someone new. They feel familiar in a way you can't explain, comfortable like coming home. And you think, this is it. This is different. This is finally the one. But 3 months in, you're back in the same dynamic, the same pain, the same anxiety, the same desperate need to fix someone who can't be fixed. You're not unlucky in love. You're not attracting broken people by accident. You're choosing your trauma over and over in different bodies with different names, but the same wound you have been trying to heal since childhood. Let's start with what you won't admit out loud. The wrong person feels right to you. You meet someone emotionally unavailable and your body lights up, not with joy but with recognition. This feels like love because this feels like home, and home wasn't safe. Home was inconsistent affection, conditional approval, love that had to be earned and could be lost at any moment. So when someone withholds from you, when they are hot and cold, when you have to chase them, something in you says yes, this is what love feels like. Not because you're broken, but because you're wired by early experiences to associate love with pain, connection with anxiety, intimacy with fear. And the cruel irony, healthy love feels wrong, boring and suspicious to you, like it can't be real because it doesn't hurt you. Here's what your unconscious mind is doing. It's trying to solve an old problem with a new person. This is called repetition compulsion, the psychological drive to recreate unresolved trauma in hopes of finally getting a different outcome. Your parent was emotionally unavailable, so you date someone emotionally unavailable, hoping this time if you are good enough, patient enough, understanding enough, they'll finally choose you. Your ex betrayed your trust, so you date someone who triggers your insecurity, hoping this time if you are vigilant enough, you can control the outcome. You were abandoned as a child, so you date someone who can't commit, hoping this time you can make someone stay, but you can't, because they're not your parent, they're not your past, and even if they change, it won't heal what happened back then. You're trying to rewrite history, but you keep casting the same villain and wondering why the story ends the same way. Let's talk about what you call chemistry, that instant spark, that magnetic pull, that feeling of, I've known you forever. You think it's destiny, soulmates, the universe aligning, but it's not. It's trauma recognition. Your nervous system identifying a familiar pattern, your subconscious saying, I know this dance, I know these steps, I know how to survive this. Chemistry isn't always good. Sometimes it's just your body recognizing danger it's learned to call home. Real chemistry might actually feel boring to you, calm, stable, predictable, because your nervous system isn't activated. There's no threat to manage, no anxiety to soothe, no wound to heal. And without that activation, you misread it as lack of passion, when really it's the absence of trauma, and you've been conditioned to believe that love without pain isn't love at all. You know what you're really doing in these relationships? You're reenacting childhood. Your partner becomes the parent who didn't see you, and you become the child desperately performing for attention. Your partner becomes the person who abandoned you, and you become the one trying to prove you're worth staying for. Your partner becomes the critical voice you internalized, and you become the version of yourself trying to earn approval. You're not in an adult relationship. You're in a therapeutic reenactment, using your partner as a stand-in for the person who hurt you first, and they probably don't even know it. They're just being themselves. But you're projecting an entire childhood into them, and no one can succeed in that role because the script was written before they arrived. Let's talk about intermittent reinforcement, the most powerful conditioning tool psychology knows. When someone gives you inconsistent affection, when you never know if you'll get warmth or coldness, your brain becomes obsessed with figuring out the pattern. You analyze every text, every interaction, every mood shift, trying to decode what makes them give you love and what makes them withdraw it. And when they finally give you a breadcrumb of affection, it hits harder than consistent love ever could. Because you worked for it, waited for it, doubted it would come. This is why emotionally unavailable partners feel more intense than available ones. Not because the love is deeper, but because the scarcity makes it more valuable. You're addicted to the uncertainty, the highs and lows, the pain followed by relief, and you call it passion when really it's just your nervous system on a roller coaster. Here's another layer. You're not just attracted to wounded people, you're attracted to the idea that you can heal them. This person is broken and I can fix them. I can be the one who loves them so well they finally heal. I can be the exception, the one who breaks through their walls. This isn't love. This is a savior complex, and it's rooted in your unhealed wounds. Maybe you couldn't fix your parent, couldn't make them stop drinking or fighting or leaving, couldn't make them see your worth. So now you try to fix partners, hoping that if you can heal them, it will retroactively prove that your parent could have been healed too. That it wasn't about you being unworthy, it was just that you weren't trying hard enough. You can't love someone into wholeness, and exhausting yourself trying is just another form of self-abandonment. Here's the belief underneath all of this, that you have to earn love, that it's not freely given, that your worth is determined by how much you can tolerate. Healthy love feels like too easy. It must be fake, it must be temporary, it must be hiding something. So you choose difficult love, love that requires sacrifice, love that proves your devotion through suffering, love that makes you work for every scrap of affection. Because if love comes easy, what does that say about you? That you're not special enough to fight for? That you're not valuable enough to chase? You have internalized the belief that love is something you earn through pain. And until you unlearn that, you'll keep choosing people who confirm it. Let's talk about the most common trauma pairing. Anxious attachment meets avoidant attachment. You're anxious. You crave closeness. You need reassurance. You fear abandonment. And when you feel someone pulling away, you chase them. They are avoidant. They fear intimacy. They need space. They feel suffocated by emotional demands. And when you chase, they run away. And this dance feels like love to both of you. Because both of you are playing out your own childhood wounds. You're the child trying to get a parent to stay. They're the child trying to get a parent to give them space. Neither of you is wrong, but you're incompatible. And instead of accepting it, you dig in. Convinced that if you just love them right, they'll finally let you in. Convinced that if they just pull away enough, you'll stop demanding so much. But you won't. Because you're both stuck in your patterns. And those patterns were formed before you ever met. Here's what dating your trauma costs you. Years, decades, entire lifetimes spent in relationships that were doomed from the start. You sacrifice your peace, your self-respect, your mental health, all for the fantasy that this time, this will be different. You ignore red flags, make excuses, stay longer than you should. Because leaving means admitting you chose wrong again. That the pattern isn't breaking, that you're still stuck. And every failed attempt makes you more desperate, more willing to settle, more convinced that this kind of pain is just what love costs. But it's not. Love shouldn't feel like a wound you keep reopening. It shouldn't require you to beg for basic respect. It shouldn't leave you wondering if you're too much or not enough. So how do you break the cycle? How do you stop dating your trauma? You start by getting honest, brutally honest about your patterns, about why familiar feels safe even when it's destroying you. You look at your relationship history and ask, what's the common thread? Not in them, in me. What am I choosing? What wound am I trying to heal? What role am I trying to rewrite? You sit with the discomfort of realizing that you're not a victim of bad luck. You're an active participant in your own suffering. Choosing partners who can't meet needs because meeting your needs would require you to believe you deserve them. and believing you deserve them would require healing the wound that says you don't. Here's what healing looks like. You stop trying to fix your childhood through your relationship. You fix your childhood in therapy, in self-reflection, in grieving what you didn't get, and accepting you can't get it from a romantic partner. You learn to sit with the discomfort of healthy love, the calm, the consistency, the lack of drama, and you don't run from it because it feels wrong. You choose partners based on compatibility, not chemistry. Based on how they treat you, not how they make you feel. Based on their actions, not your potential to fix them. You date with awareness, catching yourself when you feel that old familiar pull towards someone emotionally unavailable, and instead of following it, you pause. You ask, what am I trying to solve here? If you keep dating your trauma, know this. You're not broken. You're not doomed. You're not too damaged to find real love. You're just stuck in a pattern, one that made sense when you were young and powerless. But it doesn't serve you now. You can break it, not by finding the right person to finally change for you, but by changing yourself. By healing the wound you keep trying to outsource to partners who can't fix it. Stop choosing familiar pain. Start choosing conscious growth. Stop trying to rewrite the past. Start creating a different future. The person who hurt you first can't be changed through your relationship now. But you can change. You can choose differently. You can love differently. And maybe that's the real healing. Not making someone stay, but finally choosing people who want to. Not running love through suffering, but accepting it through worthiness you finally believe you have. You're not your trauma, and you don't have to keep dating it to prove you survived it. You already did.